Today I spent a little bit of time playing with LED strips and installing them in the robot. Basically, each corner has a strip that runs up the edge. I'll probably end up zip tying them in at some point. One of them is one a little bit longer than the other one, so this one's kind of bundled up. The other side pretty much runs right from the bottom to the top. And the idea with the LED strips is that it'll give me feedback of the state of the robot and just make it look all around much cooler. I have a few different states that I've programmed it to use, and I'm going to walk through them right now so that you can see what they look like. Right now the robot's completely off, so of course the LEDs are off too. When I power the robot up, they go into a slow yellow blink here. Basically it's waiting for me to turn the radio on, which in the box of course the radio would already be on. Turn that on. Once it gets radio for 3 seconds, it arms by doing a servo reset, and then it switches to solid blue, which is what it will use the rest of the time that I'm in the box, except when it's sensing things. So one other thing that I've just added to the software to make this thing easier to work on is a diagnostic mode that will make it so that everything still works except it doesn't actually send any throttle out, so that I can play with it in the pits and not, accidentally hurt someone. So I'm going to put it into diagnostic mode right now. Okay, so in diagnostic mode I just switch the LEDs to groups of 3 as they go on the strips. And while I'm in this mode, playing with the throttle actually doesn't do anything in the robot. If you could see the Arduino inside, I'm actually piping the throttle to the blink speed of the LED on the Arduino. I decided not to do it to the big strips because that would be a terrible strobe effect while I'm trying to work. It's nice and stable. So while it's in this mode, the weapon system is completely normal, except that there's no throttle spinning. This allows me to test things like the bump sensor. So here I'm going to throttle all the way back down, and you can see the servos just reset there. I'm going to let the arm back down. So with the arm down, I have the bump sensor that I installed on the front, and inside you can see I've got 2 contacts, and then on the other end of it I've got a big metal plate. So the idea is that when you hit the bump sensor, that metal plate hits those 2 contacts down there, and when that happens I change the LEDs to bright green to tell me, hey, I just hit somebody. Naturally that should trigger the flip, but it doesn't unless I've been spinning for a long enough time. So here I'm going to notice I didn't actually move anything there. I'm going to throttle back up and make sure I turn on my artificial intelligence, and then when I hit the bump sensor it'll actually fire the weapon. So I'll let that spin up again. It won't do it unless it's been spinning for 3 seconds since it flipped. And then here I'm going to hit the bump sensor, and you can see the weapon will actually engage. And throttle back down. While in this mode I can still run the servos manually, so that's a servo reset after 0 throttle for 3 seconds. Here I can flip the servo switch, and you can hear them actually resetting. Do it again here. And that's how I can test the system in the pits now, and play with my cool little LEDs. And then at the end of the competition, end of the match, I have it set up so that you'll play a little victory dance. Everybody likes disco.